It's to Dracula: A Love Tale. This is another adaptation of Dracula, and this is directed by Luc Besson. And if you don't know who he is, Luc Besson, he's directed films such as Dogman, Leon the Professional, Valerian, uh, Valerian the Lost City, and of course Lucy. And he also has done other adaptations from Paris with Love that came out in 2010. So he's done films. And he's been in the industry for a while. But this is another horror, yet another horror adaptation that he's done. So okay, and this stars of course Caleb Landry Jones, Zoe Blue, Matilda de Angelis, of course Christoph Waltz, and Raphael Luce. When a 15th century prince denounces God after devastating loss of his wife, he inherits an eternal curse and becomes Dracula. Condemned to wander the centuries, he defies fate and death, guided by the hope to be reunited with his lost love. Now, I thought the performances, let me just speak about the positive before I get into some negatives in here, but despite the long negatives that I'm going to talk about in this film, but I thought Caleb Landry Jones, who plays the prince in here, and I thought that Christoph Waltz, who was actually not in the film as long as he should have been in the film, I thought as Van Helsing, I thought both of them had really outstanding performances. I thought they really was really good. I thought they both had really solid moments in here that really made the film and gave the dramatic tension that it was supposedly deserved. But after the first hour and 20 some minutes in the first hour and 20 minutes of the first act and then all the way into the middle half of the second act, it really to me kind of lost me a lot when it got to the third act because it just completely became this more so what it was, a gothic, atmospheric yet exhilarating, exotic and erotic thrilling film. It became more so a slow drag because it took so long to get to what they were trying to go. So yeah, the cinematography also to me fell all over the place. It to me it never really long last. It really got there. I thought the whole war and tribe that at the beginning, especially in the beginning of the first act, where the first like 20 25 minutes into it, like you saw like the warmth and the fire. Uh, like the whole warmth and the fire. I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was pretty excellent that they did that. With the whole fire, with the whole fire and blaze all around this whole like environment in nature. I thought that was pretty unique in how they did it. Uh, like I said, the whole war and like the whole infringed war that happened, and like I said, the prince, his wife ended up get caught in the crosshairs, and so he's trying to defend, his honor for his loved one and also his family, and of course, what happens? He ends up having a curse because he ends up denouncing his father in the film, and I thought and like I said, I thought the story with that was pretty decent. But again, like I said, the cinematography, like once we get to the second half, the second and third act, it just lost me and fell all over the place. I thought the makeup, the look, and the costumes and the wardrobe was absolutely awful. It was inconsequentially deplorable to the point where it became a gothic nightmare. And it just became an absolute nightmare to me. It didn't really feel like they was trying to get to an overarching point. Um, and I said the look and the makeup and the costume and wardrobe just felt benign and neglect. It felt all over the place. It didn't really it just became so hard to look at it, so hard to really concentrate because it just really looked so ugly. And so I thought whoever did the makeup and the costume and the wardrobe did not do a good job in this one. I thought they did not really add to more of the mystique elements. And like I said, it became more of a nightmare to try to really look at and really pay attention to, close to. And I felt like the story in the second and third act, while it was very interesting, it just fell off. It just fell by the wayside to me. And like I said, despite excellent performances, I just don't feel that Luke Besson really is the right person to really do horror films. I think he should probably like give it up at this point because this is not a horror adaptation that I would have picked him to do. And again, it was trying to take allude to Bram Stoker's Dracula and of course Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, their version of Dracula in the Hammer horror franchise back in the 60s, and even possibly the hope in the early 70s as well. It tried to take an inspiration from there, but I felt like it just did not. It did not really have, and did not really gain and pique my interest to really make it concentrate. And so that was my thing. And I don't think, like I said, I don't really think that Luke Besson should really do more horror horror directed adaptations. I felt like this was very disappointing on his behalf, and it really just from there it became an absolute gothic nightmare to the point where I didn't really feel like I was paying attention to just on-screen acting, on-screen characters. I felt like I was just looking at just certain things that just felt like it was running, it was graining, and I really didn't feel like it became and then it became so predictable. It didn't really feel like it had a version of an ending that really made sense. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Dracula, a love tale. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section down there. Uh, I would say probably just wait till it hits streaming. I mean, it's been out for over a week or so, so it's already probably hit streaming right at this point. I wouldn't. This is not a theatrical release. Hey, what's going on? This is not a theatrical release that I will go and check out. In my opinion, I would try to wait until this one is really hit on streaming before I would even go and watch this. And if you do watch this, take it with a grain of salt and have zero to like low expectations. Because if you have anything that's above that, it's not going to meet the expectations. But I give this film, uh, I give it 2.5 out of 4 stars, 2 to 2.5 out of 4 stars. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Dracula, 2025 version. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section. I'm out. Peace.